This story is of an intelligent thief named Berlin who steals with his friends wisely. It starts by showing Berlin, whose third wife was also divorcing him and leaving because of it. He breaks down a lot and was sad because no one has ever accepted him, no one loves him. Now in the meantime, the Berlin team also comes who take him away by sitting in the car with them. Because now they have to do their robbery. There were 4 other people in the team except Berlin. One girl was a hacker, one boy was a lock master. He used to break all kinds of locks very easily. The third was an old man, he was a professor and was very intelligent. He was so smart that he used to plan all these thefts. That which theft, when, where and how to do. One is the sit light man, who used to handle the sit lights very well. In addition to this, he was also good at weapons. He also knew how to fight very well. The 5 become police officers and reach a very grand place where the rich were having dinner. They come to a rich man and show him a fake warrant, and says, "We have received this news that you smuggle a lot of expensive things. That's why we came to search your safe." That's why the rich man takes Berlin to his safe, and Berlin tells him that we are not any police officers. In fact, we have come here to take that precious bowl of old times, which is with you. Now because the rich man did not want to fight, so he quietly gives the bowl to Berlin. And when they start leaving from here, a boy says, "You are not police officers from anywhere." Because of this, Berlin is very angry. He took the boy out on the pretext, and makes him cry so much that he came to his knees. He says to Berlin, "Please leave me, I made a mistake." Berlin tells him not to try to be smart in front of everyone. "Otherwise I will blow your head with one bullet. I also know that you are doing all this to show your friend that you are such a big hero. Whatever you are, stay in front of him, stay with him lovingly. Because there is nothing more than love in this world." After that, the next day, they go to a hotel where they are going to plan all their theft. Berlin includes another girl in his team, who is an engineer. Someone had also cheated this girl. Because of this, she became mentally weak. Now, because she was much better than before, she had come to support him in theft. After this, Berlin and the professor tell everyone about their plan. They tell that with the help of this cup, we are going to steal 44 million jewelry. Everyone understands this plan, and the next day, they went to a church to meet a father. Berlin tells the father that I am a professor, and these are all my students. We have done a research. When we found out that there is a lot of treasure under your church, we want to dig here so that we can see if there is treasure here or not. Hearing this, the father becomes happy because if there is really treasure here, then the church will benefit a lot from it. The father takes them to the basement, and allows them to dig here. Now, the truth was that there used to be a tunnel under this church, which used to open by going to the largest auction house in Paris. After a few days, there was going to be an auction of very expensive jewelry, which had to be kept in different vaults of the locker room there, and their plan was to steal all the vaults. Anyway, Berlin tells his friends that the hotel where we are staying, there is also the house of the director of the auction house right in front of it, who lives there with his wife. We have to somehow go to his house and install CCTV cameras all over the house, so that we can keep an eye on him. After a while, when the director of the auction house leaves with his wife, they quietly enter his house and fit the cameras all over the house. Berlin and the professor were keeping an eye on the director of the auction house and his wife through the cameras. When the professor sees that Berlin is worried, he encourages him. He says, "Don't worry, one day you will find a very nice girl. Look at us, me and my wife have been together for 25 years. We love each other very much. We have never thought of separating from each other." Hearing this, Berlin says, "I agree, but this world is deceitful. There is nothing like true love here." Now, when Berlin was keeping an eye on the director of the auction house and his wife alone, he sees that after his husband went to sleep, his wife left the house with her dog. Then Berlin follows her. When she goes to the bar, Berlin also follows her. He sees that the director's wife is singing in the bar. Berlin likes her a lot as he sees her. He also likes her voice very much, that's why he thinks of getting her. The next day, when the church priest comes here, everyone tells him that we have found a very precious bowl from under your church. In fact, it was the same bowl that he had stolen first. They deliberately put the bowl under the ground here, so that the father would feel that there is really a treasure here. Seeing it, there is no place for the father's happiness. That's why he allows him to dig more. The next day, Berlin, the director's wife of the auction house named Camille, starts trying to make friends with him. Following him, he goes to a hotel and starts talking to him. He tells him his fake name, and says, "I have come here to visit Paris. I heard your song in the bar last night, which I really liked." He had also deliberately brought Camille's favorite book here. Seeing this, she asks him that, "Do you read this?" Berlin says, "Yes, I like it very much," but Camille leaves without giving any answer here. Berlin thinks that maybe I have made a mistake. That's why she doesn't want to make friends with me. While digging, they find a tunnel. That's why she starts digging further to reach their destination, that auction house. When Berlin listens to Camille, she finds out that she had a fight with her husband. Because she wanted to go to a show with her husband, but her husband was not going. So now Berlin wears nice clothes so that he can go with her. While digging, the father comes to the basement and says, "I want to take that precious cup so that I can show my university professor that we have got this from here." Somehow he starts taking the cup from there, and they can't stop him. When Berlin found out about this, he got very angry. He says to the lockmaster, "This is your responsibility, get that cup from the father somehow." While he goes to meet Camille, he reaches her and asks Camille that, "Where are you going?" When she says, "I am going to watch the show," Berlin also gets ready to go with her. There, the lockmaster and the engineer girl sit on the bike and leave to snatch that precious cup from the father. When they were running away after snatching the cup, some of the father's friends come here and stop them, but they somehow start running away with the cup. The father's friends also start following them. The lockmaster and the engineer girl go to the parking area and hide. But the father's friends find them and snatch the cup from them. Because of this, both of them got very scared. They run away from here quickly, that there is some other problem before this. When Berlin and Camille came back at night, we noticed that they have become very close to each other, means they have become good friends. That's why they exchange their numbers. The next morning, the satellite man goes to the hacker's room to ask her for help. Along with that, he also tries to befriend her, but the hacker shows him that she is strict. But inside, she also started liking the satellite man. Now the professor comes to the lockman and the engineer girl, who were very scared. The professor reassures them that now there is no need to be scared. Because when you snatched the cup from the father, he got very scared. That's why now he has quietly handed over the cup to me, saying that I will not come to the basement again. And you continue your digging. There Camille comes to meet Berlin, but there was a problem for Berlin here. He could not take her to the room because if Camille had come inside, he could have been caught by looking at the computer setup. He tells Camille that we will talk here. I can't take you inside because you are married. If someone sees us, it won't be good. Hearing this, Camille felt bad. She gets angry and leaves from there. Seeing this, Berlin also felt very bad, that's why he also follows her. He comes in the lift and hugs her to convince her, and here their relationship begins. The next day, they dig again and reach where they wanted to reach, means right next to the auction house, but there was a very strong wall ahead, which was made of iron blocks. So here the professor tells them the plan how to get inside. He says, "First we will cut the blocks finely. Then attach those blocks to the car very cleverly so that we can install it whenever we want. And remove it whenever we want. There are always 2 guards in this building. One guard is inside, who always stays in the control room. And his eyes are always on the computer screen. The second guard is outside, who looks at the things outside. Now first of all, they have to distract the guard outside so that the hacker girl hacks their computer system." Here the satellite man notices that both the guards eat a lot of pizza. They order pizza every other day, that's why he becomes a pizza delivery boy and takes the wrong order. On it, the guard starts arguing with him. That's why the satellite man also starts making him angry. Their argument has increased so much that the guard also calls the other guard to fight. And taking advantage of this, the hacker girl hacks their computer system. Means, now she can control all the cameras. Now Berlin starts telling his team the plan again, and they go back to that tunnel. They start cutting the blocks of that wall with a very thin wire. They put a magnet there and raise it a little and finally come to the locker room. Here are all the safes in which there will be jewelry. That means their plan was going on perfectly so far, and now they just had to wait for the goods of the auction house to come, in which all those jewelry will also be there, which were later kept in these safes, and in this way, they could easily steal all the safes. Now, along with the planning of this theft, Berlin's love story also starts with Camille. He was giving half of his time to this plan while half was given to Camille, but one day Camille's husband sees both together, but Berlin tells Camille's husband that I am an artist, and wanted to meet your wife. That's why I came here today, but after her husband's departure, Camille tells Berlin that I am scared. What if my husband finds out about us? Berlin says let's go to a place where there is no one except us. That's why they both go to a hotel and spend time together, while the professor and the rest of the people are in their hotel. Here the professor's wife calls him and says, now I don't want to live with you because you don't give me time at all. Hearing this, the professor becomes astonished. He was surprised and worried, thinking that my wife loved me so much. I never thought that she would leave me, and now how can she do this to me? Obviously, this is why the professor was shocked. Then, looking at his face, the engineer girl understands that surely his wife has divorced. Now the satellite man tells the lockmaster that tell me, where did you keep my bike? Because when you went to steal a bowl from your father, I didn't see my bike after that. On this, the hacker girl tells him everything, that while stealing the bowl, we were also attacked. That's why the bike was left there, and now I'm scared, because if that bike is caught, then we will also be caught. The reason is that the passport on which that bike is real. Hearing this, the lockmaster gets even more scared and says the bike is definitely with the father's goons. To know what happens next, watch the second part next time. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.